Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. This is weird. This is the first time since I started recording my videos. I'm not in finals. So, yeah. This I guess the end season review of the team, and we'll just see where it goes. Usually, I have those like PowerPoint presentations, and like I have like a set way I want to go through. Like my season 4 review. Like I usually have like stats, my record, all that, duo awards or whatever, and all that. But this season we don't have any of that because season 5, you know, it was just a shit show all around. Um, we don't have any stats. We don't have any differential to go off of. The award show was, we still did that, but your boy didn't win anything. Playoffs, we'll get to that in a bit. I could talk about stuff like this, but um, I thought since season 5 was so scuffed, we should just have a scuffed video. Just me talking, I guess. So I guess I'll just go down the line and talk about stuff. Cause let me see something. Season 5 draft. I haven't opened this since January 7th. That's actually not too long ago. God, looking at these teams post draft. My God. Alright. This is my video, so we're here for this. Alright. So, this is my team post draft. Now, I wasn't upset with this team, but um the original plan was to get Hisui and Samurai anyway. I don't know. In the moment I just wasn't expecting it, so I was like, I'll get Azu. It's a good fairy. Um Gives me what I want. And I was so just not thinking about Samurai anymore that like I just went with Azu. And then at the end of the draft, when I saw Hisui and Samurai still around, I'm like, all right, well I need that. And then I was like, all right, well now I need a fairy. So now that I have a dark type in Samurai, I don't need low kicks. Unfortunately, as cool as it would have been, I already had Fortress as well. So I was like, all right, I need another form of hazard removal because I don't want to defog with Mence. And I don't want to bring Fortress every week for Rapid Spin. I mean, at the time I had Savali, but um, I don't know. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it, so I ended up going with this team post draft. I traded Low Kick, Silvally, and Azu for Samurai, Hat, and Licky Licky, and I'm very happy I did. Obviously these mons right here, I would definitely draft these mons again and like actually use them, but just wasn't the time. I guess wasn't the time. Um, but this team I was very confident in. Obviously, first half of the season, Terra Captain was Ogrepon. Um, Big mistake. Had to self nerf myself because if I did go on a run and win finals and win the league again, I wouldn't want it to be on the back of having the most broken mon in Big G's history. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not fun. And also, it just became it just, Terra Ogrepon was way too broken for draft. Put it that way. So I basically self-restricted myself moving forward. So second half of the season, going into playoffs, Licky Licky was a Terra Captain, which we were Ghost, Fighting, and Fairy. Um, I think we ended up bringing Fighting like once, but I don't think we ever brought Ghost. So that's Fairy. That's Fighting. And we didn't play Woo, bro. That's fucked up. That's Fairy. Let's go. Oh, we did bring Ghost once. Okay, so yeah, we actually brought all three Terra types. Ghost and Fighting only once though, but we did end up bringing all three, which is always my goal with the Terra types. I like to bring as much as I can, but 99% of the time we brought Fairy, but there's two games, and I'm so mad I didn't play Woo, bro, because defensive Mens is gonna eat him alive. Anyway, we'll get into it. Um, so yeah, coming right out of the, I mean, I guess we'll start even before season 5. Coming right out of season 4, everyone is super hyped to get going for next season, season 5, and I just wasn't. You know, we were going at it for a very long time. Um, really, I think the longest break we took in Big Juice was maybe between season 1 and 2. It was either between season 1 or 2, or it was between 2 and 3. If I were to guess, it would probably be between 2 and 3 because that's when we made our own tier list, and that's when we got the Brits and we added Croc and a lot of other people. But season 1 and 2, we kind of just needed people. So Tanner got tabs, and then through tabs we got Mnez, and through them we got B. Um, so that was only a couple weeks. I remember season 1 was just super scuffed. You know, shout outs to Jake, the goat of Big Juice. And you know, we were just like, all right, well that was scuffed. I mean, JC won and whatever. You know, I'm not gonna take it away from Jay. I mean, he had a good team season 1 and he was playing better than us. So not saying he wouldn't have won season 1, but playoffs is definitely not. You know, Mickey Chip. I gotta bring it up, I guess. So going into season 2, we got things situated. But I don't think it took that long. But I think between 2 and 3 was the longest break we took, and that was going into Gen 9. Season 3 is the first season of Gen 9, so um, that was only probably like a month and a half. So pretty much for like the last year, we haven't had a break off Pokemon, and we've just been going at it nonstop. And up until this season, we were having extremely long seasons. I mean, just to give you guys an idea, season 1 and 2. Well, season 1 we had to cut short because you know, Jake. But season 1 and 2 we did double round robins. So while we only had 10 coaches for season 2, there were 18 games. So you played everyone twice. And there's 2 games a week. So we would play every Saturday and every Sunday, and that was that. Like that's what we did. And if you didn't play Saturday, you played Sunday, and if you couldn't play Sunday, you played both your games on Saturday. That's how it was. We were crazy back then for sure. That was way too much, as you could imagine. I mean, just coming out of season 2. I mean, B, it was his first season. He was like, I can't do this again if we do double. I was like, bro, there's no way we're doing double round robin again. And I was like, if we're expanding out to random people, like if we're getting people we have no idea of, like they're not gonna do this. Like even just asking them to play a best of 3 draft league is pretty hard, but um, asking them to also play every weekend and sit there and watch every game, that's way too much to ask. Like back in season 2, bro, when the games, like we would start games maybe around like 6 o'clock and we'd be done at like 10, bro. We were there for like 3 to 5 hours just watching the games. We were all on a call. It was fun. Don't get me wrong, but it was a lot. It was something a lot more than it needed to be for something just meant to be fun. So yeah, but yeah. Then we, you know, normal season, first season with divisions. Oh my god, just looking back at everything is crazy, bro. Oh my god. But yeah. Anyway, the history of Big Juice just to get to this season. Again, we're just going at it for way too long. I mean, for an entire year, we were nonstop, nuts to butt, just fucking slamming the fucking weeks in. And it was weird because literally everyone that I talked to, Jay, Tanner, Mnez, Sal, they're all like, yeah, let's get this season started. Let's keep it going. I was like, I don't know. Um, Obviously, I said what I said coming out of season 4 finals. In that review video where I was like, do I got that dog in me? I said, I don't know if I got that dog in me anymore. I really felt like that. It felt like even though I lost in finals, I mean, again, I didn't accomplish what I wanted. I wanted the perfect season because if I accomplished the perfect season, I mean, you know, um, there would be nothing else for me to do. I already won finals once, and if I went back to back and had a perfect season on top of that, like that would have been that. Unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards. But I still just felt like there was really nothing for me to do anymore. Like I felt like I did everything. So coming into this season, I was kind of like I had a team made coming into this season, but um, like the original plan was to redraft Victini because I had him season one, but again, season one we only did like 1 or 2 weeks, so it was just like I didn't really get to use Victini even though I drafted him. So the original plan was to get Victini with Ogerpon, but then I realized if I'm bringing Ogerpon to every game, which I pretty much did. I don't think there was a week I didn't bring it. Um, oh, yeah, whatever. Um, I was like, I'm probably bringing Hearthflame a good 60, 70% of the time. So, um, there's no reason for me to have Victini and Ogerpon was the big thing. So, in a last minute adjustment in the draft, we got Deoxys speed. Um, and that'll be important later. I'm going everywhere in this video as you can see. I didn't really have a plan coming into this. So, this is just very scuffed. I'm just kind of yabbing about. Um how did we get here? I was already just talking about how I felt coming into the season. I don't know. Regardless, yeah. Victini will come back to bite us in 10 minutes after I stop yapping. Um but yeah, that was the original plan, but obviously Um, I changed my mind and went for Deoxys over Victini, and then drafted from there. But um, yeah, coming into this season, I wasn't feeling it. I really felt like even though we're reducing the season down to 9 weeks instead of 14, so we're essentially cutting a month and a week off of the season. I still felt like this was a bad idea just to rush into the season, and I turned out to be true again. Maybe because of my sour attitude towards this season, it kind of ruined it for everyone else. I'm not one to have an ego like that to think my attitude would ruin everyone else's, but I think um, since I was the guy kind of running everything and I wasn't doing my job, it kind of made it less fun for everyone else in a way. And I guess as we got into like the middle of the season, that's when it like really hit people, and like we were scrounging just to see games get done. Like the first like 2 to 3 weeks, I think we were good, and I think it was around like 4, 5, and 6, like this area right here. Like you had to fucking the Discord was just fucking dead for like this month right here, like 4, 5, 6, 7, bro. Like Discord was Jover, and then these games, like these last like 2 weeks, week 8 and 9, bro. Like there were so many surrenders. Like I really wanted to play Woo, but you know, the one night we should have played, I was just I don't I think I was like playing Smite or something instead. So like that's all me, cause I did really want to play Woo again. I feel like I had a really good plan in coming into that game, bro. Like Calm Mind, Hatterene did so well in his team. Same with this Rocky Helmet Solomon set. Ugh, we was getting cooked that game. That's all there was to it. But um, yeah, um, yeah. So this season was just scuffed. Everyone just lost interest halfway through. But the playoffs have kind of like reinvigorated everything, and everyone's like excited again. But oh, it's a good thing. But at the same time, we kind of do need a break. I know people. We were saying that this season kind of was our break, but I think we need like an official just time off. Like, because even while we were in this season, technically we were still thinking about Pokemon, because like there's technically still games to be played. We just didn't. So now that we're gonna have pretty much all of February off, or at least most of it, we might, depending on how people feel, we might start up, last week of February, beginning of March. But considering that we have like our first month break coming up for the first time in like a year, basically, I think it'll give people enough time to just reset, be excited again. I mean, most people are excited again. I mean, I am, but you know. But yeah, this season scuffed, but really brought it back in the end. My only losses this season were to Sal and Mnaz right here, and then I lost to Nick, which, you know, not to take anything away from Nick, he played well, but I did get a bit unlucky that set. But it's the game we play. I've gotten lucky plenty of times, so yeah. Came out of the regular season 6-3, and I was the third seed. And pretty much, I mean, playoffs wasn't too crazy. I mean, my game against Mnez, that was such a great game. There's so many things I could have done. Like, just watching Game 5 alone, there's so many things I could have done differently to win that game, but I didn't. So, I mean, again, obviously I hold myself to the standard of making it to finals every season because I know I'm capable of it, but fortunately this time it was not my time. It's not my time. Um 3 seasons in a row, it's pretty damn good, but um wasn't my time this time. And it's weird. It feels weird to not be in finals, bro. I mean, this gonna be my first time watching a finals since June of 2022. A year and a half. It has been a year and a half since I've sat down and watched finals as a spectator, and not been in it as like a competitor. That's weird. Year and a half, but here we are. So with that being said, it's I don't even know where this video is really going. I guess we should talk about the team. I kind of talked about it earlier, going over like what I had coming immediately out of the draft, but right after I made my grace period trades and transactions and got these demons, this is a team. I did it last season, I did it this season. I really don't like making trades. Like, I feel like if I didn't want something, I wouldn't have drafted it. Obviously, previous seasons I have made trades. The most notable trade, in my opinion, being the trade for I dropped Gengar for Tornadus. I think that was, yeah, when Mnaz traded me, what was it? I traded him Comfey and he gave me Weezing. I mean, I don't know what Mnaz was cooking, but he was cooking some good fucking shit because that was the worst trade in trade history. And when he said he wanted Comfey for his Weezing, oh, I was all over it, bro. But obviously, after I did that trade, I kind of had to get rid of Gengar. But Torn was doing very well. I mean, when I played it was Croc? Yeah, when I played Croc in quarterfinals, bro. God, that Torn was going crazy on him, bro. My God. But yeah. I don't like making trades. I haven't made a trade in the last 2 seasons. The only trades I made were Terra captainships. Last season, it was Terra Glim for the first half. Then it was Terra Gambit. And then this season, it was Terra Ogerpon and Terra Licky Licky. So, with that all being said, let's talk about the team members. Licky Licky. Did I bring it that often before? Was it Terra Captain? Let me see. I brought it once against Josh, against Sal, and okay, so yeah, I was bringing it a little bit. Licky Licky is a core member to the team. Just so good. I mean, I feel like I really I didn't. I could have brought different sets on it, but like I really, that Wish Pass set is just so good, bro. I mean, with that HP set, it's so good, especially for a team that's like not as bulky as mine. And my team is more like it's like bulky offense, I guess, or just like offense. So like getting those big wishes off to reset some of the HP bars is big. Um, and Licky, I mean, I've been hyping this guy up for seasons. B got him last season. I had him this season. Just a demon. I mean, especially since we're doing low tier Terra next season and he is in that category. Licky is a mon that I think is one of the better Terra captains. I mean, especially after using it this season. It's just so good. It's so hard to kill, bro. I mean, such a good mon. If it got stealth rocks, that'd be like the one thing, but it doesn't. So yeah, Licky, the goat. Very very happy in using it. Ogrepon, um, upsetting. I could not bring the teal mask ever. I just never really saw a point in bringing it, but I brought Wellspring once. It was the first time I played MS. But yeah, mostly it was just Cornerstone and Hearthflame. Hearthflame more than Corner, but Cornerstone was still a good bring. But um, I mean Ogrepon with Terra, it was too much. But Ogrepon, even without Terra, that mon is crazy. I mean, Ogrepon, the second it came out, instantly fell in love with it. This mon is definitely one of top 5, top 10 mons of all time, in my opinion. I think the mask changing is like such a unique and cool mechanic. The fact that it takes up an item slot, but then gives you a expert belt boost to every physical hit, or just any. Is it contact or is it just physical? Yeah, so it just gives you 20% boost. Like that's just crazy. But also giving you different abilities based on the mask too, like Defiant, Mold Breaker, Water Absorb, and Sturdy. Like Ogrepon is such a unique Pokemon. That's one of my faves for sure. And using it this season, it was just so good. I mean, I love it. I could see myself redrafting Ogrepon. And like again, I don't like redrafting mons, especially after I've already used them. Exception being season one mons that I had, because technically, even though I've yet, the only mon I've ever redrafted was Hitmontop, and I had it season one and two. Um, and again, that was because season one is just it was scuffed. Like we didn't have a full season, so we didn't have a full season. So a lot of those mons, I only got like 2 or 3 games out of. So it's I'm definitely not against redrafting them, but for the mons I've had for like a full season, so like I guess from 2 to 5 now, I'm not the biggest fan of redrafting them just because there's 1,000 Pokemon out there, and I would like to see what other mons got cooking. There's a lot of mons that I have low expectations of, and they do good, and then I'm interested after I see someone else use it. And there's mons that have high expectations of, and they live up to it or they don't. And Ogrepon was a goat. So there's that. The Axis Speed. Croc had it last season, and that was when Nasty Pot was banned. Now, I had it this season when Nasty Pot was allowed. Funny thing, though, is I think I only brought Nasty Plot once this season. Yeah, I brought it against Biff week 1. Didn't bring it here. Oh, this is where I brought the dual screens. Yeah, the full support. I thought about bringing it again against them. That's funny enough. Nope, didn't bring it there. I didn't even bring Deoxys this game. Oh my god, 2 weeks in a row with no Deoxys? What was I cooking? Yeah, I mean, I literally brought, yeah, I brought the support set again. I mean, I literally brought Nasty Pot to 1 game, and maybe that's on fault on me. Maybe I should have been bringing it more, but like, that utility set and also just the coverage with expert belt sets, I just like a lot on Deoxys. Obviously, that was comfort for me. Deoxys Speed, just one of the greatest draft mons. I mean, coming into this season, I knew if I wasn't getting Victini, I was getting Deoxys, and I'm very, very happy I got Deoxys. This mon is insane. Croc had it last season. He wasn't a fan of it, so he traded it like after like week 2 or something. And this mon is just insane. I mean, it's just if I didn't have Samurott on my team, I probably would have brought like the lead set more with like rocks and spikes. But considering I was always getting hazards up regardless with Samurott, I didn't really need to. But oh my god, Deoxys is just the goat. I mean, Deoxys in my opinion is like top 3 draft mons with Dragapult and Valiant. I mean, looking at versatility and what mons can do, Deoxys in a sense can almost do more than them because you get hazards and you get the coverage. Obviously, you're a lot weaker than Pult and Valiant, but I don't know. It's just like Valiant gets SD and you get Calm Mind, and Pult gets Dragon Dance, but Deoxys you get Nasty Plot, so it's like you get +2, and obviously like Valiant gets +2 at Swords Dance, but like SD Spirit Break isn't the same as a Nasty Plot Psycho Boost. You know what I'm saying? So Deoxys Speed, my opinion, top 3 draft mon with Valiant and Dragapult, except Deoxys Speed is more boss than them. Like Dragapult and Valiant, they're cheap ass motherfuckers. They're too good. Deoxys Speed, he's like third ring. He's like the third string quarterback, but he's a real motherfucker. He has to work for his fucking kills. So Deoxys Speed, the goat. Good send off. Samurai, I mean, there's not much to say about this mon. This mon is broken as fuck. Cleaver, Hisuian Samurai, and Golden Go have completely ruined competitive Pokemon in my mind. They're just too broken. They fundamentally break what competitive. These 3 mons, Golden Go, Samurai, and Cleaver, are as broken in my mind as Zero Shifus. They're as broken. And you can't change my mind. You cannot change my mind. Setting spikes up for free is the cheapest, most bullshit mechanic in the game. And then sharpness is just such an incredible ability. I mean, I think I brought a special Samurott one week with Air Slash. Was it this game? Yeah, it was already week 1 against Biff. I brought special attacking Air Slash. What was it for? Oh, it was for Amoonguss. Yeah. Like, a cheap ass mon. Obviously, I like Samurott. It's a sick mon. But my point stands. I think it fundamentally breaks the rules of competitive Pokemon. So, not that I hated it, and I didn't like feel scummy using it. It was a lot of fun to use. But if we're being honest here, cheap ass Pokemon. But another boss in men's. Coming into this season, I was super, super big on men's. I thought it was one of the best dragons in draft. It's special, physical, can do it all. First kind of half of the season, men's wasn't really doing all that much. Like this game against Biff, it did a little bit, but if Biff didn't choke his Garchomp would have just killed my entire team. Against Mnez, Mens did like literally nothing because I couldn't just get the Dragon Dances up. Sal, again, I don't think it did much of anything. Like it got a good damage off, but didn't really get kills. Curious Ogerpon just 6-0'd. That was like the last Terra Ogerpon game. Here, I don't remember Mens doing much. This game, Mens would have cooked Woo. I'm just saying, Mens would have cooked Woo here. And then this game, right here, literally the last week of the season, this is where Mens started to turn the fuck up. I mean, Mens literally went crazy against Donsky. This is really its first performance that I can, like, really, really remember. And then I didn't even, so, like, there's 2 games where Mens went crazy. It was week 9 and semifinals. So, for, like, the entire season, Mens really wasn't doing much, and I was kind of getting down on it because, like, damn. Like, I really thought Mens was that guy. But as I, got the full experience with it, Mens is that guy. I was a little too high on it. It's definitely slightly worse than I thought. Just, power creep and all that. But Mens is still, I still rate Mens very highly. It's a very good mon. Um, Dragon Flying is just such a bad typing, bro. Such a bad typing. But Moxie Intimidate, very good. Roost capabilities, I'm not gonna go over it. But men's, slightly too high on it, but came came down to expectations. So I was happy using men's this season. I liked men's. Mon that gets too much slander in this league is Mega Manetric. Some people by the name of Tanner think this one is completely ass. And, I've always said it. Manetric isn't the best Mon, and it's not a Mega you're going to bring every week. But when it does come, it's going to do its job, and it's going to do it better than almost any other Pokemon. And that was just true. I mean, I didn't even bring it week 1, but at week 2. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I brought Manetric 4 times, one of which being in playoffs. So, like, it's not a Mon you bring all the time. But when it does show, it shows well. Like, this game against MNAS, bro, like, this thing did like 66% to a Rotom with a modest Thunderbolt. Like, that's ridiculous. That's insanity. Like, Manetric is just so good. Obviously very hidden power reliant, but a lot of electric types are. But Mega Manetric, I think it lived up to expectations like perfectly. Like it did exactly what I wanted it to. Did very well. Um, Fortunately, Fortress kind of suffered the same fate as Mence. First, like half of the season, majority of the season, I was not big on Fortress. I was like, I just can't find a way to bring this. I don't know how to get it in. I was using Nidoqueen as my rocker most of the time, so I was like, oh my god, I can't bring Fortress. And every time I did bring it, it was so obvious, and then they just take on every fucking fire move in the game. I get fucking one shot. Like, I don't know. I was going through it with Fortress, but again, towards the end, um, I started to find my footing with it. And I like it. I mean, in playoffs, it was a really big part of both teams against Sal and MNAS, and it fulfilled those jobs very well. So Fortress, I put it, slightly too high in my mind, but after using it, I would say like for men's, it was like 10% worse than I thought. Fortress is like 15, 20. Like, it's slightly worse than I thought it was going to be, but not too much where I was like, oh my god, I wasted a draft pick on Fortress. But Fortress is still definitely a very good mon. I mean, it literally just does what you want it to. Rapid spins, volt switch, hazard stack. That's what it's there for. It's what it's gonna do. Nidoqueen. I said coming into the season it was gonna end up with more kills than Terra Nidoking. Obviously, we have absolutely no way to prove that because the replays are broken and we counted 0 stats this season. I'm just gonna go ahead and say we did, just for the culture. It's very unfortunate because Nidoqueen was literally a core member to our team like the entire regular season. But the second we got into playoffs, it just did not have good matchups. But Nidoqueen is an absolute demon of a mon. I said coming into the season, I think Queen's better than King. I'm gonna stick by that. Queen, in my opinion, is definitely better than King. Just again, being able to live the hits, get off pretty much the same damage, and also people have to worry about you setting up hazards because you're bulkier. It's a big deal. Nidoking is way too frail to be setting up rocks and spikes. He just is. Nidoqueen with 90, 87, 85, you're bulky enough. Like if you're taking a neutral hit, like you're eating it well, and even super effective, like you can live like one super effective hit, and like if you have a berry, you're chewing it. Like the amount of times I brought like Shookaberry this season, Nidoqueen was a lot, but it's because you can live a hit and then get off a sheer force fucking hit on something, or you just get rocks up. Like Nidoqueen, I absolutely adore this mon. This was I'm very sad I couldn't bring it in playoffs, but this is a mon that did very well for me. And last up, Hatterene. Again, another mon I was super proud of this season. I mean, obviously it's pop off game against Sal in quarterfinals. I mean, Specs Hat just oh my god, it was cooking his ass. I mean, yeah, Specs hat was crazy. And again, it just helped with like the identity of the team. Like I'm gonna get spikes up on you, but you can't get hazards up on me. So, um, just a crazy good mon. I mean, again, I would redraft every mon on this team again at some point in the future. Like I can see myself doing that. The only mon maybe not would be like Fortress, but even then, like again, it's just it does the role you need if you need a one mon to do that many things. Like so, yeah, the team I'm very proud of. I said coming into the season that if I'm gonna make this team work, I have to get creative with it. I don't think I did anything like too crazy with it, and maybe that's why I ended up losing to MNES, but I don't know. I think it all in all, considering how weird this season was in terms of just everyone kind of just like not being interested halfway through and all that, I still think I had fun with this team. Um, if I didn't like my team alongside all the other changes, bro, oh my god, this season would have been hell. But I really liked my team. Close to bringing it to a finals, close but no cigar. And it joins my season one team in being the only team not to get me to finals, which is an unfortunate honor. Unfortunate honor, but because my season one team just looks so bad, but my new team just looks so good in comparison. But it is what it is. But um, plans for next season? I don't know. I don't. There's no mon that I already said I'm not gonna take my draft pick because I'm not really interested in it. I'd rather just get in the mix with everyone else and just draft from whatever spot I get. So we'll see. But um, playoffs have definitely reinvigorated the fire in me, the competitive spirit. Again, coming out of finals, even slightly going into finals, because like came off such a big win against JC, like that felt like my finals at the time. And then I played Tanner, and like obviously I still played my heart out, but there's still I don't know. And then obviously as soon as I lost, it just felt really bad. And then coming into this season, all that, but especially after going through this playoffs and now that I have to watch finals again, the fire's back, and I'm ready for next season. So it's been a year and a half since I've had to watch finals as a spectator. It's about to be another year and a half for you motherfuckers before I'm out of finals again, because season 6, 7, and 8, we're doing the three-peat again, baby. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, I think that's my season review. As absolutely non-coherent as that was. All in all, shitty season. Um, just, you know, uh, yeah, I mean, not definitely the worst season for Big Juice as of yet, but we're all on the come up. We're ready for season 6. New terror rules in place. I'm excited to see what everyone's got cooking. I'm excited to get in the kitchen myself. I made a few teams already, but I mean, not like the biggest fans of them. Like I don't hate them, but I don't love them either. So it's just like trying to figure out where to go from there. But anyway, I've been here for 40 minutes. All in all, shitty season of Big Juice, but we're ending on a high note. I'm excited to watch finals for Croc and Mnaz. Yeah, and we're gonna get out of here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.